Well, hello and welcome to another Daily Dominion. It's a beautiful Saturday, especially because I have some beach volleyball lined up later tonight. And yeah, apologies for the absence of videos the last 2 days, but life is busy. But today we have a very interesting mixture of kingdom cards and landscapes from many different expansions. We have the base game, Dark Ages, what is this? Cornucopian Guilds, Plunder, then Hinterlands, Empires, Dark Ages again, Allies, Intrigue, and Dark Ages again. So you could say it is a Dark Ages heavy kingdom and two landscapes, yeah, from Empires, Banquet and Battlefield. Now, if you want to read through those, then you can do so right now. I think there are many strong cards here, especially with Butcher around, with Masquerade around. Masquerade is strong trashing as it just accelerates your deck a lot. Drawing those two cards before exchanging and then trashing is really, really powerful usually. Overlord is there to glue a bunch of stuff together. Then we have Butcher, which can also do really strong stuff in general, and mill provinces, shorten the duration of the game. Border Village alongside also lets you gain, or I don't know, Butcher and Border Village together let you butcher border villages into more border villages, and you get two coffers on top of that, which is really nice. First mate could be some draw, but also here I think the forts might be interesting to consider for draw as well. The first fort tent usually is not very exciting, and usually it's rather awkward to get it into your deck because it's just a terminal silver that lets you rotate the forts if you so want to. But here, and then usually the other forts are the stronger stuff. But here we can play Overlord as tent and rotate the forts using that, and then never and then completely lose the ability of rotating the pile. But then we can pick up garrisons, which if you're able to gain a bunch of cards, then those are strong. And here you certainly are. And Hillfort is also a really good thing to gain you. I guess in this kingdom, not super useful stuff. Maybe a Masquerade or a Vassal or two. Or if we are at towards the end of the game, a few death cards. With death cards, you always gotta have in mind that you only need five of them to empty the ruins pile, so it's essentially one fewer pile to empty for a pile out. And with border villages and butchers, I think this is going to go fast. Then there's also Banquet, which allows you to gain two coppers and a non-victory card costing up to five. We're probably not going to use this unless it's like towards the very end of the game and we have a garrison in play and want to draw a bunch the next turn. Then that might be good. Battlefield is some alt VP, and that means that greening early or getting a few green cards early is not that bad because you kind of get some victory points for free. But it can be a bit lopsided sometimes. I don't know. Yeah, it's not. Anyways, now also we note that we have three Dark Ages cards, and those Dark Ages cards happen to have rolled us the shelters into our deck. The shelters are Hovel, Necropolis, Overgrown Estate, and we can get rid of Necropolis with Overlord, overloading a death card, for example, and would be nice to do if we manage to, because then we can hit Border Village. For that, we of course have to line them up, and that's not super likely on the early shuffles. But then we should also get thin rather quickly with Masquerades. So yeah, this looks like a rather strong kingdom, even though there is no obvious plus buy in it. Now I can show you the kingdom plot. Actually, my kingdom plot tells me, oh, there's no plus buy in this kingdom, but the kingdom plot is generated automatically and does have some flaws. And in this case, it's a flaw that you might fish for plus buy. And actually, I think I gotta change this. you might fish for plus buy in the ruins pile somehow. And here actually it is the case that the ruin market is on top. And by gaining a death card or just buying, straight up buying a ruin market, or even butchering a copper into the ruin market, whatever, we could get access to plus buy here. But to be honest, with butcher, border village, and death cards around, and maybe estates piling due to battlefield, I don't think this is going to last super long. So this, the ability to buy 2 provinces per turn shouldn't be that impactful anyways, especially since Butcher can also turn border villages into provinces and the likes. Now, what do we open here? Or, yeah, maybe I did just a very brief discussion on the kingdom plot, but I think you got the gist. What do we open here? I think that the 3/4 is quite nice, opening Masquerade Overlord with the intent of using the Overlord as Butcher or Death card, even better if you get to trash the Necropolis, and then, yeah, just get going that way. The 5/2 also looks really, really good. Just going for Butcher and an Overlord. The 2/5 is a bit more sad, and just going for Overlord it should be alright, but you are going to be on the slower side, I think. Now, I think that wraps up the discussion, and we can start playing this kingdom. Let's see what the AI does here. AI goes for Banquet Butcher, which I heavily dislike. I don't think the butcher is worth those 2 coppers, especially with Overlord and Masquerade around. But we'll see how it plays out. And yeah, this is exactly what I was hoping for. Unfortunately, we do not get to buy a border village here, just because we just came um, out of debt. But we can. Guess we just buy another Overlord. Like, Overlord cannot play border villages, unfortunately. Actually, that's not super obvious to me here. Could also just be a silver to help pay off further debt, and then silver can get turned into something via butcher. Hmm. Okay, just thinking it through a bit, I wonder whether playing the death card here for the Necropolis is even that great. Like, this 3 money is not the most exciting. What we really want to do is hit 6 for border villages, so I guess it's a silver. And we do go for the Masquerade here, get to trash a copper. And I think that's what we're going to do. Or well, we can trash the copper here, or we just go for a border village. Hmm. Yeah, I'm not super convinced about this play. This will probably mean that we have a lot of terminal collision next shuffle. No, actually, I think it's better here to keep this 1 copper around, even though it's not optimal, and go for border village butcher. Have those collide anyways, so it didn't matter that much. But we can for sure play actually a first mate, trashing a copper, maybe into the ruin market there, which is also a better target for death card later, and then just draw a bunch of stuff. Although this would probably just draw us action cards dead. It's not, the decisions here aren't too easy. Let's just clear a bunch of this shuffle via Sage. Hopefully, well, no, we don't get to do that. But we do get to hit another border village and maybe another butcher. Hopefully we'll see our Masquerade. It's the 1 in 3 chance at this point. Well, we do hit the 1 in 3 chance. And I think at this point, another border village doesn't look too bad. I also would like to get another Overlord into into the shuffle. But for now, I think just Border Village Masquerade um, for some more draw should be good. And what do we do here? We should have good turns coming up, so we could maybe go for the garrison stuff already. Note that AI somehow took an estate early on and also already has 2 battlefield points. The border villages and butchers are emptying. Like if the sage draws as a butcher, then it's not super exciting. If the sage draws as a border village, it's the same and maybe even worse. The masquerade also wouldn't do that much. We have 2 border villages and 2 masquerades down there, so I think we just go for the rotation here and pick up a garrison. We should be able to make much better use of this stuff just because we have the thinner deck. Like, look at AI's deck. AI has so many cards. Like, is how 6 coppers. AI has bought Banquet 3 times already. And yeah, for us, it's the question what we want to trash here. I think it's the Necropolis, probably. Unfortunately, we cannot trash it into a garrison. But still, I think, yeah, that's the best course of action. Just Necropolis into Vagrant could also be a state, or hmm, or the Rune Market, and then just buy another garrison and be off to the races. Now, yeah, I think I like that. Get some more garrison into the deck. And I'm fairly confused. I was just about to say, why is AI completely skipping out on Masquerade? This doesn't make any sense, but there it just picked up the next Masquerade. Now we, on the other hand, can play these butchers and ooh, it's not that great having seen all of those border villages here. I think we actually conserve some of the coffers and just pick up a vagrant, whatever, or hmm, yeah, yeah. See, this is really bad. All of all of the stuff without the villages. Luckily, we do draw them here, and we could get 2 garrisons in play. Um, do we want that though? Could get 2 garrisons in play, which could get us, and we could buy Border Village Hillfort. I think just 1 garrison is correct here. And then hopefully next turn, um, by drawing a few cards, we'll be able to do a bit more. Not looking all too great. Now this for sure should be in first mate, I think. And we should trash some of those coppers into estates just for some points. Um, does the Rune Market want to stay or go? Let's keep it in deck for now and draw a bunch of stuff. Play the garrison before the Hillfort for sure, which can. I think the last card is a Masquerade, and this Hillfort can gain us a Vassal, I think, or no, even a death card. But before we do this, we draw. Yeah, piles are getting really low. AI does not have anything in play, like no garrison, so I'm not that scared. In principle, with its border villages, first mates and stuff, it could do us also some harm. Um, yeah, I don't know. I think we play the Masquerade first, then the Death card, and then buy, I don't know, Province Duchy or something like that. The reason to play the Masquerade first is to not have any cards down there. Actually, no, we can get the Death card, get those tokens first. I still don't understand why this is a yellow undo. We do get some information on what is revealed there, and I don't know, well, we don't want to top deck an abandoned mine. So yeah, really, we ought to, I don't know, well, why don't we top deck an abandoned mine? As long as we find the death card here, okay, there was this chance there. We should be good, I was about to say, but we aren't perfectly good, but at least we do get to score a bunch, and we now have a garrison with 5 things coming up, and this should be enough of a points lead for AI to not be able to catch up. And now this turn, hopefully we should be able to win. There are 4 estates left. There are 7 ruins left. We do have that ruin market, and thus, yeah, I don't know, we should certainly be able to do something good here. Let's see, let's not trash the copper just yet. Although we might as well play the Overlord as a first mate again and turn some stuff into with butchers into death cards, for example. And yeah, how do we play this out? I think we trash and we play this one more Masquerade. We have the gains via the Pilford here. Now this can gain us just an estate or the death card already. I think it wants to be the death card. Gain those 2 ruins. The good thing about having the garrison in play is that really this junking ourselves here is not that much of a concern with the death card. And yeah, here you can trash an abandoned mine, get this ruined market in play, play the Overlord as the first mate. Now I don't think we have the gains quite yet to empty everything. We did get another rune market there, so that in principle could yield an estate pile out. Or even that might not be enough actually. So maybe we just want another. I think we go all in on the death card stuff and gain lots of ruins, trash this copper into another death card, then gain 2 ruins and draw a bunch. I get to play one of those death cards, and with 12 we just pick up Province Duchy once again, and then on the next turn we just draw 11 cards. And we should be good. I mean, this ending was not. It didn't feel super well executed, unless now AI is hammering out a surprise whatever province pile out, but I don't think it has the capabilities with all of those coppers in deck. But yeah, I like look at this. We get to just multi-death card in order to get a bunch of money. Let's first pick up an estate. With that, of course, usually you would get this garrison in play, but here really, well, we might as well. Let's see what this will draw us. Okay, I'm just clicking cards at this point. And now we can Overlord the first mate to multi-death card. Death card away all of those ruins. Probably not draw that much actually. Before we do this, let's put those into play. Butcher this garrison into a duchy, I guess. And now do the multi-death card thing. Yeah, I don't think I've ever played that many death cards a turn. Um, and yeah, pass this around. Butcher the survivors into another estate and buy estate and double province for an astounding victory. Yeah, nice. In the end, this turned out really nicely. AI's deck completely fell apart. I mean, it's no wonder with 12 coppers. Even though it did get the majority of hill forts, we were able to just overtake it. And I don't know, this was fun with the garrison death card synergy there to draw a bunch of stuff. Um, I think we had fairly okay draws throughout the game. Our Masquerade didn't bottom deck that one turn, which was rather fortunate. The death card did bottom deck that one turn, but there I also took a calculated risk, I guess. And yeah, I don't know. Overall, a nice start into the Saturday, nice start into the weekend. And with that, I'll leave you here and I will try to catch you in the next one. And until then, goodbye.